I'm testing another viral YouTube strategy to see if it holds up in the live market. Let's dive in. Now let's test this strategy that he claims made him $70,000 to see if it really works. And we're gonna do it in the live market with real trades, no filters. By the way, if you want to learn how to read charts like a pro and find high probability trades, then you'll learn a lot in this vid. Now, I found this strategy because this guy is literally everywhere. Every time I turn on YouTube, his face is there. So when I first saw this vid, I just thought you're overcomplicating things. And he has endless videos on strategies. But what he's really good at is just repackaging what is ultimately price action. And he's doing exactly the same here with head and shoulders patterns.
This is a very clear indication of a head and shoulders happening at a high in the market. As you can see right here, this is a left triangle right here. This is the bigger triangle right here. And this is the other triangle. This is also known as...
Right, this is also known as a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so you've got the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and generally once we get a break of the neckline, price moves to the downside. Now I'm going to show you how all chart patterns are irrelevant. Head and shoulders, double bottom, double top, flag and pennant, ascending triangle, descending triangle, none of them are relevant. It doesn't matter if you don't know your chart patterns. What's important in this example is that this low here, this is the H4 chart, is broken by this candle here. That's all that you need to focus on, and we're going to touch on this more later in the vid. Let's take a look at another example.
Literally the complete opposite. So to keep it very simple, I can just flip the chart and you can see how now this right here is an inverted head and shoulders. You have the left, you have the head, and then you have the right shoulder. You can see how the market completely shifts.
Again, guys, okay, it's a head and shoulders pattern. So we come down, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and again, away we go. Now, again, what is important here is that this level here was broken with this candle here, right? This is what makes chart patterns irrelevant, and I'm gonna go into more detail later in the vid. So let's understand where he enters a head and shoulders pattern.
The high risk trade. That's where a lot of people want to know. And it's very simple. It's at the potential right shoulder. And why do I say potential? Well, because there's nothing confirmed yet that this is a right shoulder. For all we know, this can have a pullback to here, and then this have a then push to the upside. And it's a fake head and shoulders, which happens all the time in the market. That's why this is considered a high risk trade, because it's still not yet confirmed as a head and shoulders or inverted head and shoulders. So you would be taking the trade at the potential right shoulder. Once you have a rejection candlestick, you would enter your trade right around here, and your stop loss would either be right above the head or a little bit above the right shoulder. And this is a very high risk trade, but it has a lot of reward with it. Because if you get this trade right, not only do you completely catch the right shoulder, but then you can scale in once you enter on the retest of the neckline to then head to the downside, which is the actual trade you should be entering once you have a head and shoulders.
Okay guys, so again, I'm going to show you how what he's saying is all irrelevant, right? Whether you enter here or whether you wait for a break and then a retest here depends on certain things, because all head and shoulders patterns are not created equal. So let's explain exactly what I mean now, guys, by looking at the live markets with real trades. Right, so let's look at head and shoulders patterns and understand what's really important about them, right? What he's shown you is so vague and not important. Guys, before we do, if I could please ask everyone to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button. And also let me know what other strategies you would like me to look at, or other traders on YouTube. Okay, now here is example number one, and this is a head and shoulders pattern, right? If we just follow the system, that is a head and shoulders pattern, right? We've broken the neckline, we've got the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and we've got the head, right? Now, again, irrelevant. What is important is where do we get a break of structure? And as you can see, this is the H4 chart. That's the example he was using. And that's generally speaking my entry time frame. And what we're going to look at is pure price action. This is the area of importance for this chart. As simple as that, guys. And that needs to be broken. I don't care if up here is a head and shoulders pattern, you know, it's irrelevant. What is important is a break of this level, right? Because it is the last low on the H4. I mean, arguably there was a little bit of a range here, but that is the last low, right? Price comes up, it comes back down, test that low, right? And we still don't break that low until we get this candle here. Now I'm interested in selling this market. It has nothing to do with a head and shoulders pattern. It is a H4 structure breakdown. And you can see, guys, if you want a high probability setup based on price action, we trade the break and then the retest. Look at the reaction we get here. I would start selling here, stops above here, and we'd look to take price lower. All right, so that is example number one as part of a bigger head and shoulders pattern, which is what it is. Okay, so let's have a look at another example now, because they are all different. This is example number two of a head and shoulders pattern. But again, guys, right, this is a head and shoulders pattern, right? It really is, right? You've got the shoulder, and you've got the head, okay? And again, if we break the neckline, that's a pretty good place to trade. But he spoke about, you know, when we can trade it aggressively and when we can't. Now, I'm going to say that we can trade it aggressively when we get a H4 structure break. So in the last example, right, it was all about the neckline, okay? We didn't get a break of H4 structure until we broke the neckline. But this chart is different, okay? So in here, you can see this area right here was the last low, okay? So if we just follow H4 structure, that area right there is the last H4 low because we make a higher high. And then when that level breaks, when we break this low right here, we are now in a H4 downtrend. So that is the catalyst in determining whether we can trade this aggressively or not. And then again, once we get the break and then the retest, we look for bearish candles in this case, which we get, and we can start selling, right? You can start selling here, stops above here, right? And look to take price lower. All right, so this head and shoulders is very different from the first example I showed you because the H4 structure break happened here and that becomes our entry level. All right, it's part of a bigger head and shoulders pattern, but again, the head and shoulders pattern in this scenario is irrelevant, right? It's about H4 structure and trend and structure breaks. All right, guys, real quick, before we continue, if you're watching this and you understand price action, but you can't stay consistent, you know the setups, but you keep giving back your gains, then listen up. On November 24th, I'm opening the protocol room. This is the exact system I use to trade every single day. The same approach that has made me a Forex analyst for investing.com. It's not another strategy, it's structure, strategy, risk and money management, and psychology, the three areas that give you a trading edge. I'm only taking a small group because this isn't about cramming hundreds of people into a Discord and calling it mentorship. This is proper guidance, the kind that actually fixes the cycle of winning for 3 days straight, then blowing it all in one revenge trade. I've worked with traders who have had the exact same problem. They didn't need more chart analysis, they needed discipline, a system they could execute under pressure, whether they've just won or lost. The waitlist opens now and spots are limited. If you don't fix this now, you'll be having this same conversation in 6 months. Links in the description, sign up today. Now let's get back to the vid. Let's have a look at another example because I showed you all head and shoulders patterns are not created equal, right? He does not give you enough detail on how to trade head and shoulders patterns, right? And what he's ultimately showing you was H4 structure breaks with the trades that worked. Now this one is interesting because I'm going to show you this again is a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, right, there's no doubt about it. Shoulder, shoulder, head. Okay, but again we're looking for where does the H4 structure break, and if we just follow, right, the highs and lows, this is where we're at. So currently, because we never broke these lows in here, we are still in a H4 uptrend. We're getting higher highs and these lows keep holding. And as you can see, we actually get a break of this high again and it becomes an uptrend. So this head and shoulders pattern, we never got the chance to trade because we never got a breakdown in structure. And guys, if you want to understand price action and how to read charts and find high probability trades like I'm showing you here, then please come join our free Discord channel, right? The link is in the video description and you can share knowledge, ideas, you can have a chit chat with other traders. Please come join our free Discord channel. Also check out the website, also in the video description, you can get access to all of my premium trading education. But back to this example, we never get a H4 structure break. If we got this and we got a break and retest, I am very much interested in selling this because we've had a H4 structure break. But that never happens, so we do not have a sell trade, regardless if this is a head and shoulders pattern. So as you can see, guys, chart patterns are worthless. Right? I mean it. It doesn't matter what chart pattern you're talking about, right? It could be a double bottom, double top, head and shoulders, ascending triangle, flag and pennant. They are all explained using price action, and that is what you need to focus on in order to find high probability trades. And if you've enjoyed this vid, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash that notification button and smash the like button. Please let me know what trader or strategy you would like me to review next, and I'll see you next time.